Welcome to 365 Degrees of Gratitude. I'm Michael Reginald. Today I want to give thanks for God being the perfect Father. He is our great, awesome, and perfect Father. And we must thank Him for being a wonderful Dad. Now I know sometimes we may struggle with that concept, but He's everything that we hope for, everything that we want, everything that we need, and so much more. In 2012, very shortly after I recommitted my life to the Lord, actually 2011 to be exact, I remember it was September of 2011. One night I had this dream and I saw my father, my natural father, coming to me. And he drove a red car and he was dressed in a red suit, and in the back of that car was a huge bag. It was very, very big. And it was laden with so many things. And he was laughing as he drove and he came to see me. And I remember in the dream I just stood there and I looked at him and I was beaming with excitement and I was laughing because the laughter was so infectious. When I woke from that dream, I knew without a doubt that was God. You see, in the natural, that was not the relationship that I had with my father. And my father was not that kind of person. And so I knew that I had seen God. It puzzled me why He chose to appear to me in the form of my father. And that was the very first time I actually saw God. But it took me some time to understand that He was saying to me, I am your Father. Not in a scary way like Darth Vader did with Luke, where he says, Luke, I am your Father. Not in that way. But He was introducing Himself as an all-loving, all-caring, as a wonderful Father who brings great and wonderful gifts for His children. In Psalms 85:12, David said, the Lord will indeed provide what is good, and our land will yield its increase. The land that will yield the increase is ours, what comes from us, our hands. You see, God created us from the earth, and reference to land also refers to us. It also signifies the land that we cultivate, but that reference also, most importantly, speaks to us. Our land will yield its increase. What we produce will be so much more. And one other thing that we can be thankful for when we contemplate the goodness of God as a perfect Father is the fact that He heals. He protects. He strengthens. He corrects. Yes. He corrects those whom He loves. Hebrews 12:6-11 tells us that He corrects every son that He receives. In my early years, and this is 2012, very shortly after recommitting, I was in prayer one day And as I was praying in the spirit, I heard Jehovah Mekadesh. It was the very first time I was hearing that word. And it sounded strange. It was actually the very first time that I heard the Hebrew words being spoken to me. First I'd ever heard it being spoken by anyone, to be correct. And I heard Mekadesh, and I was wondering, like, what is this? Remember that I told a friend, and he told me what the word was, because I was calling it a different name. But it means God sanctifies. In His correction, He is sanctifying us to receive us as sons. We know that our God is holy, and so we must be holy. And so He sanctifies us, He corrects us. He does it for our good. And that correction, though it may not be pleasant in the moment, it works for a far greater good in us. It serves to our tremendous benefit. And so we can be thankful for His correction. He restores. He gives beauty for ashes. That is for all the bad things that have happened to us. He takes that and He turns it around for good. He comforts. He encourages. His anger is only for a moment. Sometimes when I'm angry, I find it very hard to shake that off. But when God is angry, it goes just like that. He may give the just reward for whatever we have done. Just punishment, just reward. But even then, He does not remain angry. And so we can thank Him for being the perfect Father, our prime example. In Genesis, there are examples of fathers given, because God outlines His first institution for mankind, the family. And we have Abraham, we have Jacob, we have Isaac, we have Joseph, we have so many other patriarchs, Noah. But when we examine them, we know that there is imperfection. But God is perfect in all His ways. He sets a very high bar that we can attain to. And we can be thankful that His devotion is forever. His devotion towards us never changes. As He exists in eternity and is eternal, so is His loving kindness and His devotion towards us. Our God teaches us how to be diligent. He teaches us, like a good father, He teaches us discipline. And when He disciplines us, He is training us how to rule. He's teaching our hands to war and our fingers to fight. He's teaching us how we may rule, how we may overcome in any circumstance, any situation, in any possible scenario, because He's building us as rulers. From our Father comes pearls of wisdom, knowledge, understanding, wonderful counsel. When Daniel was called to decipher the dream of Nebuchadnezzar, he said this to Nebuchadnezzar in chapter 2, verse 22. He said, He reveals, this is God, God reveals the deep and hidden things. He knows what lies in darkness, and light dwells with him. This is our wonderful Father. He gently guides. Now you may be wondering, what's the difference between guiding and counseling? Guidance is given to ensure that we are prevented from something that may be bad. It helps to set us on the right path. That is a purpose of guidance. And wonderful guidance comes from him. He is, in Isaiah 41:13, Isaiah says, God says this, for I am the Lord your God, who takes hold of your right hand and says to you, do not fear, I will help you. That's what our God says. That's what our Abba Father says to us as children. His love for us is immeasurable. His love for us cannot be measured by any stretch of the imagination. It can never be measured. 1 John 3:1 tells us, see what great love the Father has lavished on us, that we should be called children of God. And that is what we are. It is something that we can rejoice about. It is a great prize that is worth more than rubies, than diamonds, than gold. The fact that we are called as sons of God, and daughters are also called. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't it extremely great? It is a wonderful blessing to be called his son. Think about that for a moment. God is our perfect Father. I'm sure there are other reasons that you can come up with. So many other things that you can tell me about. And be sure to share with me. Place a note in the comment below. Let me know in what way he has been a wonderful Father to you. I thank you so much for listening. God bless you, and do have a wonderful day. May the Lord, the God of our fathers, make you 1,000 times as many as you are, and bless you as he has promised you. God bless you.